As a first-year head coach in the DMV, Coach Alpha Bangura is not letting the pressure get to him, much like a free throw. In the midst of the federal workforce being reduced, the job cut epidemic has also made its way to campuses, as black college graduates are also being affected. Here in Washington, D.C., the 2025 Congressional Black Caucus is being held, a multi-day event in which there are numerous topics being discussed in multiple panels, including the topic of NIL and athletics. At Georgetown Day School in D.C., first-time head coach Alpha Bangura is setting the tone.
Just togetherness, being a team, persevering through challenges and things of that nature. And so, those are the attitudes that we brought here, setting a standard for yourself, holding yourself accountable, and just changing the culture and being a part of something special.
Coach Bangura is a former professional basketball player who's played in the NBA and overseas in 30 countries, who is now coaching to help high schoolers prepare on and off the court at the next level.
I said to myself, I'll be more valuable helping kids than being on the sideline. And so, I ultimately decided I was going to get into coaching.
As Coach Bangura enters his first season with Georgetown Day, he looks to bring over his pro basketball expertise to help establish a new culture of confidence and buying in to help the school get back to winning ways.
As a former professional basketball player, your experience follows you. You know what it's like to be one of those kids.
He's kind of instilled this confidence that though we are shorthanded compared to other teams that don't recruit, we still can be very competitive. We can win in the MAC, our conference.
While looking for on-court success, Coach Bangura is also looking to grow these relationships off the court.
They just need to know that we have great leadership and our end goal is a championship. So we have to.
I think, you come into the situation and you want to show people that you care. And I think as coaches, if you don't genuinely care about, your players, you shouldn't be a coach.
Players are starting to see how much Coach Bangura cares.
I think the way he treats us like adults. I feel like he treats us with a lot of respect, but also demands a lot of us.
As a first-year head coach in the DMV, Coach Alpha Bangura is not letting the pressure get to him, much like a free throw. With HU News Vision, I'm Kyle Alexander. As a result of the government shutdown, the federal workforce is being reduced significantly. In the midst of these cuts, one group is facing a significant impact as black unemployment has soared to 7.5%. A key factor in this is the nearly 950,000 jobs cut by employers in 2025. The president has eliminated over 4,000 federal jobs since the shutdown, affecting black workers who make up 18.7% of the federal workforce. Yvette Belt, a retired federal worker, talks about how the shutdown is affecting her retirement.
Now I'm in limbo because my retirement package processing is being delayed. So until that gets processed, I won't have any income coming in from retirement.
In the midst of the federal workforce being reduced, the job cut epidemic has also made its way to campuses, as black college graduates are also being affected. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics finds that 18.9% of black young adults are unemployed as they're struggling to maneuver a decrepit job market, especially recent college graduates.
Yeah, obviously it's more difficult because we're already at a disadvantage. So anything that's in our way is going to only make it worse for ourselves. So yeah, it's definitely more difficult.
It's becoming a weird moment for law students or those that are looking into law, because there's situations that we're trying to use, or previous instances that we're using to set as a precedent, that we can't use no more because it's either getting overturned or the actions of the administration undermine the ruling.
For HU News Service, I am Kyle Alexander. Here in Washington, D.C., the 2025 Congressional Black Caucus is being held, a multi-day event in which there are numerous topics being discussed in multiple panels, including the topic of NIL and athletics. On September 25th, the Congressional Black Caucus held a panel called Black Athletes Success in College and Beyond, hosted by Congresswoman Emilia Sykes. The panel discussed the impact of the NCAA's name, image, and likeness, or NIL laws on black athletes. The panel consisted of former college athletes and current general managers, each of whom provided insight into how NIL can be managed and handled in the evolving landscape of college athletics. Former Ohio State running back Maurice Claret discussed how his Ohio State dismissal for accepting gifts can aid student athletes in today's game.
It helps with credibility. Kids to know that I've been through what I'm advising them through. And so you've seen the bad part of it. They've also seen me rebuild myself and make myself into something a lot bigger than what I used to be. So it's been a phenomenal thing now. You know, sometimes when you go through bad experiences, when you're on the front side of them, you think it's like a horrible thing because you're dealing with the negative side of it. But all failure, or quote-unquote failure in life, is learning lessons, you know, as long as you keep on going down the road.
Rice University Associate Athletic Director Tasha Moser details how Rice helps their student athletes manage finances.
We have curated programming it's life skills, it's leadership, it's skill development, it's financial literacy. Like I said, we're bringing in a CPA to educate about taxes. We've educated about managing finances.
This is Kyle Alexander with HU News Vision. Thank you, Harmony. The Bison football team started the fall season off strong with a 34-7 victory over the Hampton Pirates, earning their first win in the HU battle since 2014. Next, as we kick things over to soccer, the women's soccer team made it all the way to the NEC tournament where they fell short in the semifinals to the eventual champion Wagner College. A group of women that did bring home some hardware was the cross-country team as they won the MEAC title this year, with 5 Bison placing in the top 15. Another group that's still celebrating is the men's and women's swim and dive team, as they went on to combine for 8 first-place finishes in the UMBC Tri-Meet. The women's volleyball team went on to the MEAC tournament and made it all the way to the championship, but fell just short to Coppin State. As the winter season is approaching, the women's basketball team is off to a blazing hot 6-1 start with a key win over Providence, in which they only had a 22% chance to win. As we switch over to the NFL, the Washington Commanders currently sit at a 3-8 record and are in 3rd place in the NFC East. The most significant part of their season was when franchise quarterback Jaden Daniels suffered a dislocated elbow against the Seattle Seahawks and missed the next couple weeks. After being reevaluated during the team's bye week, the Commanders report that Daniels is a long shot to play in Week 13 against the Denver Broncos. And as they prepare for that game with or without Daniels, they are also preparing for the winter season as they are set to host the Dallas Cowboys on Christmas Day. And speaking of preparing for the winter season, I had a chance to talk to Georgetown Days' new head coach, Alfred Bangura, and discuss how he's preparing for the season and preparing for the new challenge of being a first-time head coach.